Americas. This towering giant is the Vestas V236 15.0 megawatt offshore wind turbine.
The wind turbine stands taller than most skyscrapers, engineered to rule the open ocean. Each blade of the wind turbine is longer than a football field, slicing through air with unbelievable power. When the turbine spins, it sweeps more air than any wind machine in history. But before the Vestas V236 15.0 offshore wind turbine conquers the sea, it
built. This factory exists for one mission: building the Vestas V236 15.0 megawatt.
Every curve of wind turbine is calculated to survive hurricanes, salt corrosion, and decades of stress.
Thousands of workers and machines unite to assemble wind turbine piece by piece.
On wind turbine, even a single bolt must endure forces equal to a moving train.
This is the complete assembly story of the Vestas V236 15.0 megawatt.
The Vestas V236 15.0 watt offshore wind turbine.
Building the Vestas V236 15.0 megawatt offshore wind turbine begins with thousands. Every steel component of wind turbine is cut with millimeter-level precision. The blades of wind turbine rely on advanced composites, lightweight yet stronger than steel. These massive steel rings will become the tower of wind turbine, carrying the weight of the entire machine. Robotic welders work non-stop, creating joints strong enough for wind turbine to face ocean storms. Every weld on the wind turbine is inspected, scanned, and approved before moving forward. Inside these holes, the Vestas wind turbine slowly takes shape, section by section.
Automation and human expertise combine to move parts of the wind turbine safely and efficiently.
With raw materials ready, the most critical part of the Vestas offshore wind turbine can now begin. The blades of the Vestas wind turbine are so long, one mold alone fills an entire factory hall. Each blade of the wind turbine stretches longer than a football field from end to end. Before construction begins, the blade mold for the wind turbine must be flawless. Layer by layer, advanced composite fabrics form the skin of the wind turbine blade. Carbon fiber gives the wind turbine blades the strength to bend without breaking. These internal beams act as the backbone of the Vestas wind turbine blades.
Even lightning is planned for inside the wind turbine blades.
To bind everything together, the wind turbine blades use vacuum infusion technology. Liquid resin flows through kilometers of fiber, hardening the blade of turbine into one solid structure. Hours of controlled pressure transform raw materials into a blade for the wind turbine. Heat and time cure the blade of the wind turbine, locking in its strength. After curing, the blade of the Vestas wind turbine finally emerges. Two massive halves become one seamless blade for the wind turbine. The bonding joints of the wind turbine blade are stronger than steel welds. Perfect aerodynamics are critical for the wind turbine to capture maximum wind.
Special coatings protect the Vestas wind turbine blades from salt, rain, and sand. A single blade of the Vestas V236-15.0 milliwatt offshore wind turbine is a machine on its own.
Every blade of the Vestas V236 15.0 megawatt offshore wind turbine is inspected from root to tip. With blades complete, attention now turns to the heart of the wind turbine.
The nacelle is the brain and muscle of the Vestas V236-15.0 megawatt offshore wind turbine.
This bed plate carries the full mechanical load of the Vestas wind turbine. The main bearing allows the rotor of the wind turbine to turn smoothly under extreme forces. This rotating shaft transfers wind energy deep into the Vestas wind turbine. The drivetrain converts raw wind force into controlled rotational power inside the wind turbine.
This generator is capable of producing 15 megawatts inside the wind turbine.
Precision windings transform rotation into electricity within the wind turbine. Yaw systems allow the wind turbine to face the wind automatically. Hydraulic brakes protect the Vestas wind turbine during extreme wind conditions. Advanced electronics control every movement of the wind turbine.
Electricity and data flow together inside the wind turbine.
Hundreds of sensors constantly monitor the health of the wind turbine. Perfect alignment ensures long life for the wind turbine. The nacelle becomes a sealed powerhouse of the wind turbine. With its heart complete, the wind turbine moves to its next stage.
The tower of the wind turbine must lift hundreds of tons into the sky.
These steel plates are shaped into the backbone of the wind turbine.
Automated welders create seams strong enough to support the wind turbine in violent ocean winds.
Every weld on the wind turbine tower is tested for absolute integrity.
Inside the wind turbine tower is a vertical factory of cables and systems. These flanges lock the tower sections of the wind turbine together at sea. Special coatings protect the wind turbine tower from saltwater and corrosion. Even the paint on the V236 15.0 megawatt wind turbine is engineered for decades of survival.
Once assembled, the tower of the Vestas wind turbine rivals skyscrapers in height.
With tower sections complete, the wind turbine prepares for ocean transport. Inside the wind turbine, electricity must travel hundreds of feet downward safely. These cables carry enormous electrical loads from the wind turbine to the grid.
Data flows just as critically as power inside the wind turbine.
These control systems act as the nervous system of the wind turbine. The wind turbine constantly measures wind speed and direction in real time.
Hundreds of sensors protect the Vestas wind turbine from unseen failures.
In extreme conditions, the wind turbine can stop itself instantly. Digital intelligence allows the wind turbine to predict problems before they happen. Before leaving land, every system of the wind turbine is tested and verified.
Now fully integrated, the wind turbine is ready to face the ocean.
Moving the wind turbine requires logistics on a global scale. Each blade of the wind turbine is longer than a football field and must travel safely to the sea. Perfect timing is essential when loading blades of the wind turbine.
The nacelle of the wind turbine is one of the heaviest components ever shipped offshore.
Every tower section of the wind turbine must be secured against waves and wind. These restraints protect the wind turbine during the ocean crossing.
The journey of the wind turbine now moves into open water.
Hundreds of kilometers of ocean separate the wind turbine from its final home.
Back to cooking.
Installation of the wind turbine depends on perfect weather windows.
The wind turbine has reached the battlefield of wind and waves. The final challenge begins, installing the wind turbine in its ocean home.
Precision jacks lock the vessel in place, creating a floating construction site for the wind turbine.
The tower of the wind turbine rises from the waves like a steel skyscraper. Each connection must hold the wind turbine steady in storms. The heart of the wind turbine will soon be lifted atop this colossal tower.
The nacelle of the Vestas V236 15.0 megawatt offshore wind turbine is positioned with centimeter precision.
After careful alignment, the wind turbine becomes a complete structure. One blade at a time, the wind turbine takes its final shape.
Every bolt matters. Every second counts for the wind turbine.
The Vestas V236-15.0 megawatt offshore wind turbine finally spreads its wings across the sea.
A monument of engineering, the wind turbine stands ready to capture the wind. Even the world's biggest turbine requires careful human oversight.
One turbine is massive, but a full farm multiplies the power of the wind turbine.
The Vestas wind turbine is alive, turning wind into energy.
From raw steel and composites to the tallest wind machine on Earth, the wind turbine is complete.
Final assembly of the Vestas wind turbine ensures every component is ready for the ocean.
Precision sensors measure the rotation and tilt of each blade on the Vestas wind turbine.
Alignment is critical. Even millimeters matter for the Vestas wind turbine. The Vestas wind turbine comes to life, blades turning under careful control.
The yaw system allows the wind turbine to face the wind efficiently.
All internal systems are tested, ensuring the Vestas wind turbine delivers stable power.
The world's biggest turbine now turns wind into electricity, silently and efficiently.
Every bearing, motor, and sensor in the Vestas wind turbine is precisely engineered.
The offshore wind turbine now dominates the horizon, a beacon of clean energy. From factory to ocean, the Vestas wind turbine represents humanity's largest clean energy achievement. Testing begins.
turbine rotates its massive blades carefully under supervision.
Blade pitch control optimizes efficiency for the Vestas wind turbine in varying wind conditions. The Vestas wind turbine converts wind energy into electricity, feeding the grid.
The Vestas wind turbine towers over the sea, a testament to human ingenuity and renewable energy.
Each rotation of the wind turbine blades converts nature's power into clean electricity.
One turbine is incredible, but together, these Vestas wind turbine machines generate energy on a massive scale.
From steel and composites to synchronized engineering marvel, the wind turbine redefines possibility. Each Vestas wind turbine powers thousands of homes, bringing clean energy to communities.
The Vestas offshore wind turbine stands as humanity's largest, cleanest energy achievement.